Zygarde, Pokemon that one of the legendary Pokemon that appeared in originally in Pokemon X and Y. It has recently showed off their the 10% form and complete form in the games, and these Pokemon these forms will appear in Pokemon Sun and Moon, kind of in a special way that I think people will be excited about.
So wrecked by Twitch.
And actually, here, since we're looking at a little bit of the Alola region in the background, so it's probably a good chance to talk maybe a little bit more detail about the Alola region and what players can maybe expect there.
Okay, Lama. I'm so sad. I stayed up to stream this and I get wrecked by Twitch.
アローラ地方なんですけども、他の陸地とつながっていない、地方となっています。なので、アローラ地方固有のポケモンが住んでいます。アローラ地方っていう名前なんですけども、名前の由来としては、命
アローラ这个区域这个新地图。
溢れる大地という意味を込めてこの名前にしました。
So the Alola region, as you can see, is made up these 4 islands. It has a man-made island as well. But it's really this region that's just like teeming with life, and that's actually behind the name of the region itself. Has meaning of kind of region over like a miraculous region overflowing with this life force that support all this different life. And
yeah, I think it's really interesting since it's not connected to any of the other regions. You've got this really interesting area of isolation, and we're seeing all these Pokemon that nobody's ever run into before. It's almost kind of feels like the Galapagos Islands, where you've got this really interesting remote area where all these other creatures are popping up, and you've got new Pokemon and a really cool environment as well to explore.
陸地とつながってないので、他の大陸とつながってないので、こういろんな変わった生命がたくさん登場するんじゃないかなというふうに思ってるんですけども、そうですね。
そうですね。期待しててください。
Yeah, I think people will be surprised. There's some cool things to see in the.
There are. I've been playing it at work and I'm very excited to get a look at it.
会社でちょっと遊んでるんですけど、やっぱこう楽しみにできるものは多いと思います。
And actually, since we're talking about new Pokemon, is there anything more that you can tell our viewers about the 3 starters?
有没有什么可以告诉我们？
今回の
这3个一开始选的，
これにこの3体について教えて。
有没有什
そうですね。
么
もう
可以
どの
告訴我
3体
们？
も可愛いんですけども、今
很
回
可愛。
動きにつ
这
いて
次比较
すごく意
不一样，
識して作ってまして、
动力方
バトル
面，
中だったりとか、
战
いろんな
斗
時にこう動きが可愛くなるようなデザインとして作られています。
So of course they're all very cute, but one of the things they're really focused on with these 3 in particular is making their movements really cute when they're represented in the game.
反正就是动的可爱，打的也可爱。
And they're really cute, kind of make you want to reach out and touch them almost.
あとやっぱりこう世界中の人が見て、こう分かりやすい、デザインであったりとか、タイプのカラー、草タイプだったらグリーンが入っていたりとかっていうその分かりやすさっていうのをやっぱり最初の3匹は大事にしています。
And another thing we always pay attention to with, or really focus on with the initial Pokemon that you choose for your partner is making them kind of universally relatable, so people from around the world will be able to look at these Pokemon and relate with them very easily.
希望让宝可梦
For example,
是全世界可以
being careful with the colors.
连接的，所以要做的比较多元多国。
They have a lot of personality. I actually picked Poplio because I'm a hardcore water starter fan. My first was Squirtle and I'm stuck with them. But I've been having a great time so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other folks pick when they get into the starters as well.
最初ゼニガメ選んだので水タイプのこの足回りを絶対今回いいですね。どれもすごい個性的なので悩むんじゃないかなと思います。
It's interesting actually what you talked about with the design of the starter Pokemon, and I think they also really fit nicely in with the kind of tropical climate and environment we've got. And I know that's something that you worked in with the design of the player characters as well this time around.
今回南の国っていうような設定になって
新的角色，
ポケモン
女的
もそれ
跟男的耶。
今回の主人公のデザインもやっぱそれを意識されている部分ありますか？
そうですね。やっぱり暖かい国っていうのを表現する、
暖かい国、
地方ですね。
比较热的国家。
かなり軽装にしています。
So yeah, obviously the region this time, the climate there is extremely warm. So we wanted to make sure that the
角色
characters, the designs,
也
were
是
more lightly
充满
dressed
的
than maybe
热
other
情的
designs
感
have in the
觉。
past.
I think fans will notice the proportions are different, especially when we get into gameplay in a couple seconds.
现在稳
Here.
了吗？
They're going to see it's so different how they're used to seeing their characters in the game.
あと今回ちょっとこの後キープレイを見せるんですけれども、ちょっとあれですね、頭身がちょっと変わったっていう話ですよね。
そうですね。よりこう没入感高めようと思って頭身上がってますね。今回。
So yeah, we changed the proportions this time to be more realistic. We really wanted to kind of increase this sense of immersion, and I think
稍微要把它变得比较真实化一
I don't know if I can talk about this yet, but sharp-eyed viewers probably noticed that both of those pieces of art, there was an interesting bracelet that the players were wearing. I don't know if we can,
注意到
probably can't talk about
主
that
人
just
公
yet.
手上好像有特别的手链，是不是？
ありました。
是的，是的，有。
For later time, maybe we can talk about that. But I think we've probably kept folks in anticipation long enough. So Terry, you want to jump in and show some gameplay?
I'm excited for this.
好，要直接秀给我们看怎么玩喽。
So I just want to mention, as we get into gameplay here, this game is still in development. So
现在还在制作
everything you see here
中，
might not be exactly what you're going to see in the final release of the game, but I
或
think
许
we
不
can give you a really
是
good
最
sense
终
of what the game's going to look and
游
feel
戏
like
的
as we
样
get
子。
started.
最初のものではなくて開発中のものです。
Cute
そうですね。
background music 可愛的背景音乐。
初めてで、どんなポケモンが出るか。
任天堂真的在日本是很红的。 你去一趟日本就知道卖超好，任天堂系列的 Wii 主机掌上的 NDS 卖不完的好，这样子的游戏真的
Fingers crossed, that'd be really cool.
非常受欢迎
Actually, as we
的
get，
不
started
需
here,
要
Mr.
绚丽
Son and Morrison,
的
can you tell us a little bit about
那
the
个画
story and the
面。
background of what's going on right now in the game?
今ここでちょっと主人公は何をしている場面になるんでしょうか。
他们就是喜欢
主
自己国
人公は
家做的
アローラ地
这一种
方に引っ
游戏
越。してきたばかりという設定になっています。で今回すでに少し進めていまして、最初のポケモンはすでに
文化感很
もらって
重吧
います。，
要很喜欢他们日本独特的文化，
リリータウンというところでお祭りが
你才会
開催されるので
喜欢他们
そこに
的这些
向かう
游戏。
ところです。
So at this point in the game, it's a little bit slightly into it, but it's the player actually had just moved to the Alola region the other day, and one day previous to where we are in the game, he actually received his first partner Pokemon for his adventure. And right now, we're actually on the way to a neighboring town where there's a festival.
OK， 现在是要去隔壁的城镇
Jumping into the
有
Alola
举办
誰が
festival 庆祝
どん
节
なポケモンが出ますかね。
レディバゴーポプリオ
レディバーです。
去吧ポプリオ
アローラ地方には他の
What
地方
will
のポケモン
Popplio
も
do？
はい
你要
So
让
it's
他
considered the Alola region.
打架还
It's
是
not
逃
just
跑？
new Pokemon that are unique to the Alola region, but from other regions you see Pokemon.
今回トレーナーとポケモンっていうものもしっかり描きたいと思ってトレーナーが一緒にこうポケモンの後ろにいるっていう
後ろ
ところを再現してますね。
And as you can probably see here
这次
in battle, you see the trainer is
这个
actually
主
standing
人
behind
公训练他
Pokemon
的
in the battle. So we
就
really want
是
to
会
express
站
this
在
feeling of the
他
trainer always
的
being with
口
his
袋
other
怪兽
Pokemon.
后面，他的
Yeah,
宝
let's
可
talk
梦
about that
后
a little more
面，
detail here because I feel like there's so much that you've done with
他就是怪兽们。
the way the battle looks in this game to make it feel really intense and really immersive. I was wondering if we could talk a little bit more about that with what you did with
Thank you for
lighting and
subscribing again,
and
Bobo
atmosphere.
巴林因为感謝你的訂阅。
他の話もちょっと出てきた。はい、もうやっぱ今回こうすごい演出とか見た目が違ってて、光の表現とかもありますね。
そうですね。ちょっと時間によって影が長くなったりとかっていうのも入ってたりしますね。
So yeah, there's some cool lighting effects that we're doing here where
有一些不一样的这种光
in the evening right now, so it's a bit longer, but depending on the
光线，它那个时间改变也会稍微不一样的
I
印
think
影
here，Terry's kind of staying still for a second to let us see how the
所以
camera
画
is
面
moving
上有
around.
提
This
升
is。something that'll just happen for you if you're staying still in the battle for a moment, and you really get a good chance to get a look at these Pokemon and the area that you're in and the environment.
まあこうやって一回テリー今止まってくれてるんですけれども、まあこうカメラの演出を見せたりとか、まあ結構やっぱこういうかっこいいカメラの演出があってすごいこうバトルフィールドの全体を見渡せるような感じになってますね。
今回カメラもすごいダイナミックさっていうのを意識して演出を入れています。
Water gun 水
Yeah,
枪
there's definitely some
Growl,
cool, feel
roar.
really dynamic in the battles this time around.
And actually, as Terry gets started in the battle here, I was wondering if we could talk a little bit more about the
到
different
底
changes
打
you
不
made to the
打
battle
一直
interface.
聊
I know there's a lot here
不
that's
给
really
人看我
interesting,
怎么
which
玩
makes the game really accessible to new players. Maybe this is their first Pokemon game.
它
but
让
it's
这
also,
个
I
游
think, really
戏
satisfying as someone
对
who's played
新
a lot
玩
of
家
Pokemon
也
games.
会比
It
较
just it feels really good,
容
the
易
changes
上
that
手
you。made here.
結構まあベテランにもやっぱこう初心者にも結構優しい感じの。
我也是比较喜欢口袋怪兽，因为那是它最终真正的意思。它原本
変更を加えたんでしょうか。
Pokémon 就是 Pocket Monster。Pocket Monster
説明がいろいろ入れて
口
います。
袋怪兽
例えばそのインフォメーションボタンがあるんですけども、そちらをタッチすると今その技がどんな
音译也
技かっていう
也
のを一目で
没什么
分かるように
不对啦，
なっています。
只是少了
So
意
for
思。
example, yeah, we really tried to focus on making it really accessible and easy to understand. You saw in the moves there, Terry just pressed the little I button or the icon.
神奇宝贝是我个人觉得偏远了， 偏远了。
I think it's been so helpful.
是蛮神奇的，但是原意不是这样啊。
To keep in mind now as you're battling, it's so nice to be able to pull it up, and if maybe you don't quite remember what something does, being able to just pop it up really fast there, it's like you don't have to use that information, but if maybe your memory
uses growl， 他乱喊一个，对他使用音波攻击。What will Poplio do？ 终于在打了，我对游戏画面比较有兴趣。
You can tap on the 2D Pokemon icon that's up the touch screen and
可以在画面上点角色，然后可以看到下面这个它的。哦，所以你可以知道这个怪物的一些数值。Poplio uses pound.
Are you planning on trying to capture this?
I'm gonna begin my
best
to catch them all.
Okay, good luck.
Pound 就是撞击。
So,
Pokeball.
bring up real quickly for
You
folks who
use the
maybe haven't played
Pokeball.
Pokemon
使用
game
宝贝球。
before, battling Pokemon
收
is
起
really
来
at the core of what the series is all about.
了。
You're going out into the world with your
かわい
Pokemon
い。
battling. Oh, this is the most stressful moment. Nice. Okay, so
Oh, stressful? You might fail.
but it's a
Okay.
really interesting game.
Ladybug was caught.
Battle and strategy
那个
and
瓢虫
collecting all these really interesting
被我们
Pokemon that
捕
you
获
meet.
了。
And Poplio leveled up. Good job.
Poplio 升级到等级
And it was nice
T。
there too seeing how the
哦，
the
这个
level up
日
changed.
文翻英文真的让人有点。
そうですね。
Oh, and this is actually something that we should talk
Ladybug.
about as well. Can you tell everyone a little
Ladybug.
bit more about what they're seeing on the upper screen
これ
here?
今ちょっと図鑑に登録されたんですけども、これちょっと違う感じがありますね。
そうですね。今回図鑑の遊びとして埋めたくなるという要素をすごくかき立てるようにしました。で、白いモンスターボールなんですけども、実はあそこが空きスペースになっていて、例えばその捕まえたポケモンの進化後か、それとももしかしたらペアとなるポケモンが出てくるかもしれないっていう。
是因为我本人没有在玩，所以他讲太多游戏的方面，实在是我也问号问号。鼓励你全部把它捕获。虽然登录了它，这个白白的东西，哦，可能有一只要跟它搭配，所以那个球还是空的，
Yes, especially exciting
你还要去找跟它凑对。
Pokeballs, and you're just like, oh, okay.
你要不要取名？可以帮你的刚抓到的宝可梦取名。
So
さあ次は。
who we got? Oh, nice. One of the new ones.
A
こ
wild
れは
young
新ポケモンですね。
Go, Poplio!
ヤングースというポケモンです。いつもお
What
腹
will
を空か
Poplio
せていて
do?
お腹が減っていくと怒りっぽくなっちゃうっていうポケモンらしいですね。
So as you can see, this is the new Pokemon called Young Goose. It's always
这是
hungry,
新的
so it's always
叫 Young
getting
Goose，
hungry and then
看起来很生气的一只怪兽，
it's very aggressive.
I love its face. Its design is just so cute.
非常的带有攻击
I
性
feel kind of bad for it though. I feel like we just throw it a bag of chips or something and it'd be like, thank you.
かわいそうですね。ちょっと餌を
Always
当て
hungry.
てあげてもいいんじゃない
She loves the game. She has like
おー
passion that I don't have.
Getting close there.
もう捕まるんですか。
You'll probably be able to catch this
I
one.
never got to play a Pokemon
Run
game.
away.
Good luck.
That's 2 down.
哦，已经要抓了吗？使用宝
Yeah,
贝
this
球
is。like the most stressful seconds in any Pokemon player's life. Oh.
看看看，
揺れが
看看看，
Nice.
啊，
And actually,
Gotcha!
this is a chance
抓
to maybe
到
take a
了。
look at the Pokedex.
是什么样的
with
几率
new
会失
Pokemon
败
to check
啊？
out.
Rotom
We've got some
Pokédex。
interesting changes coming to the Pokedex
this?
in this game.
Pokédex.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what fans can expect
Pokédex.
from the new Pokedex?
まあ今回図鑑がちょっと変わった感じで新しくなってるんですけども、この今回の図鑑についてちょっともうちょっと話してもらえますか。
そうです。今回ロトム図鑑というものがあります。このロトム図鑑ですけども、ポケモンを捕まえる情報をくれたりと
情
か、
報
冒険で次どこに行けばいいんだろうという
抓到了
ことを教
这些
えてくれたり、冒険を
怪兽们的
常に
情報
サポートしてくれる図鑑です。
So actually, one of the new things in this game is we have this item called the Rotom Pokedex.
Rotom Pokedex 这是新的。
Actually helps you in your adventure, so it'll tell you
在你
information
的冒
about
险中会帮助
Pokemon that you really want to catch, or
会
give
给
you tips
你
about
这
how to
些
catch
你
Pokemon,
想
and
抓
also
的这些
guide
怪兽
you on
的
your
一
adventure where
些
you should go next, for example.
资
So
讯
it serves as a really cool support
帮助
function.
你捕获它
今
们。
下画面が黒いんですけど、あそこにロトム図鑑が入ります。
So right here, actually, we're still really early in the game. We
讲
don't
很
have
多
the
话
Rotom Pokedex, so the touchscreen is just black on the bottom. But
日
you'll
本
get it
人
later.
做事很谨慎、仔细、
And
彻
yeah, actually,
底
this is a
嘛。
great chance. If we just like take a little quick circle around, we can show off not only the
他们
trainer's
觉得很
proportions,
重
but
要的
also
一部
the
分
movement is a
要
little
把
bit
制
different
作
than
人
what folks who played previous
都
Pokemon games
叫
have
来
expected.
頭身が変
聊
わっただけで
天
はなくて、今ちょっと移動の
我们来好好談談。
っていうかちょっと
そうですね。
動き方も変わりましたね。
今回フリーに自由に動けるような。
这是让你自由的
So
可
yeah,
以
you can
活
move
动
around
哦，
free full analog movement this time in the game.
完完全全的
Oh, and
乱动。
we need to tell players what's going on here
哦哦
when
哦
they're seeing
哦
the shadow
捕获
come in.
这妹妹
Can
you catch her?
キャラクターがこうモンスターボールをこう投げてるんですけど、
Gotta catch
ポケ
them
モント
all
レーナーですね。でポケモントレーナーの視線に引っかからないように、上下でこうその緊張感をこう表しています。
So you see that lady over there, or the girl
看到那
throwing
个
a
女的
Pokeball up and down, and
丢
so
着
she's a
那个球。
Pokemon trainer. And
哦，她也是
she's obviously
训
gonna
练
try to battle you,
这
but
些
what
怪
that
兽
kind
们。
of shadow that appears on the screen indicates is that there's that she's
有
going to
点
challenge
突
you to a
然
battle.
之
So it
间
kind
的
of
阴
increases
影，
this
所以
sense of tension
表
as
示
you're
其
about to
实
go into a battle.
他
It
可能
indicates
会
that
挑
player.
战
So I
你，
can either avoid her or
你
actually
可以
battle
选
her.
择要不要跟他
Oh,
对战，
I think we'll
或
win
者
the
是
battle.
可以
Feels like that
避
moment
开
that
他
people are
哦
glaring at each other.
I'll show you my sister who I'm super close to.
But it is really nice
给你
if you're in a
瞧瞧
position where
我
maybe you're trying to
的
get somewhere really quickly, or your Pokemon
姐
aren't in
妹
great shape right now, you don't want to fight. It's
Last
nice to have that
Audrey
second where you can avoid it before you just kind of
啊，
stumble
蛋力
yourself into a
丢
battle.
出了 Caterpillar，
Cute.
毛鸟虫，
あ、そうですね。
我们丢出了
And then as you can
Poplio。
see here, we're seeing the other trainer as well. And
Caterpie.
it's really nice actually just to get such a good look at the Pokemon proportions alongside their
翻
trainers.
译这个感觉顿时
相手のトレーナーも
变小孩了。
もうやっぱこう
太可愛了。
っていうのが結構伝わりますね。
そうですね。結構そういうところがやっぱりこうトレーナーがいることによって表現できているっていうのが今回の新しいところですね。
Yeah, it's definitely one of the new things. I think by having the trainers in battle, like you mentioned, it really gives you that sense of
这
scale.
两
I think from the
位
experience
训
I've had
练
at
者
the office playing this game,
对
it's
战
really going to surprise people when they take a
很
look
紧
at
张
just how
刺
big
激
and small
使
certain
用了
Pokemon are
水
when they're
枪
actually standing right next to them.
喷你一身水
実。感わからなかった部分も多かったと思うんですけど、実
他
際
用
遊んでみて、
什么
このポケモン
好像
この大き
扁我们
さだったんだ
一拳
って思うところも多分多いん
使
じゃない
用水枪。
あと、トレーナーごとにですね、いろいろこう、
あー死んじゃった
モーションを工夫してまして、
引導
ボールの
了
投げ方だったりとか、ポケモンに指示を出す
赢
仕草とか
了，
そういったものが細やかに設定さ
打
れてい
败
やられちゃ
妹子
ってポズ
能
やられち
够
ゃったんで
How come he didn't throw the Pokeball to like catch her?
Motions and reactions, for example,
没
how they
抓
throw their
到
Pokeball or their reaction when they
傻
lose, for
傻
example.
的，
アイテム拾いましたね。
刚刚没有及时丢出宝贝球。
I think there might be some more folks we can battle up here.
もっとバトルがトレーナーバトルが待ってる
路人蛮正，路人比女
As we're
主
walking
角
around,
正美。
I'm hoping folks who are watching or listening with the volume up so they can hear the music in this area.
Oh,
I
the
just
music is
found it's really great how it feels. It really
great.
fits in with the
他说是
tropical
背景音乐很
environment.
棒
視，聴者の皆さん
非常符合这熱帶
結構
的感觉
素。晴らしいですね。南の国にちょっとあった
南の国，南国
I
的
love how
热带
enthusiastic he looks.
岛屿天气。谢谢你 K Clear 0414 ，Thank you for the support，谢谢。
And we can
Thank
see as
you.
Terry's battling here, with how the battle interface is set up, it's really easy to just get super involved in the battle to whatever
跟大家
extent you want to be.
一起体验
you've got all this information at
最
your
棒
fingertips.
的
It's not that you have to look at it all, but it's so nice
即
that
时。
if there's anything that you need to check on, you can do it so quickly,
What
and then you still
will
feel
you
really
do?
immersed in the battle.
これやっぱそうですね。バトルの
使用
インターフェースで
咆哮
いろんな情報を今今回覚えなくてもいいっていう話なんですけどまあ見たいときはもうタッチ
Tackle
一つでこうやっぱこ
推理
う情報をすぐに出せるのがやっぱこう便利ですね。
ああ、そうですね。やっぱりこうバトルをしていて、こいつ
我会不会想玩
どんな状態だ
宝可梦
ったりと？かそういったことが
不排斥啊
すぐこう情報に出せるっていうことは初心者でも
一直没机会玩，
この奥
它只
深いバトルに
出在
とっつきやすくなるかな
N3DS，
と
我又
So yeah, of course, it really
不能拿来直
there's a
播
lot。of depth to the battles, but you don't have, for example, beginners, for example, maybe they don't want
也不
to,
适
or they
合
won't remember a lot of these different status changes and whatnot. But you can really quickly check on the state and see how things have changed.
I'll say I love Young Goose's.
看够了吗？
picture.
想看下一款
So
了吗？
cute.
对宝可梦没有爱。
何が出る
游戏玩的就是这种步骤啊。哦，可爱的一只小鸟儿 ，Go Poplio！ 攻击这个 Picky Pack 小鸟，红头小鸟。哦，啄木鸟。
So the setting of this Pokemon is that it can actually peck 16 times in 1 second.
哦，它可以在1秒之内啄16次。
16回。That's interesting, yeah, watching its animation as it's...
Thank you for subscribing! 感谢你的支持 Sira Hoshi Oji. Thank you, ありがとう。
Pokemon animations in this game is really fantastic.
再说这游戏到底有多棒？
してるという話だったんですけど、結構わかりますね。これ鳥みたいな感じでしょ。そうですね。首を横に振ったりとか。
Oh no no, Terry!
哦 ，Poplio 晕倒了。哦，我们要使用另外一只宝贝吗？
There's a good chance to mention actually.
好，叫出
Pokeball earlier as
刚
we're
刚
walking
抓
around.
的 Ladybug 跳
Find
虫。
items to help you out along the way that can help you heal up your Pokemon and.
我看看 ，High risk? Why is that high risk? 他说这样有高危险。哦，成功了。
That's good. That's definitely a good end to that.
High risk to catch them all.
Oh, that's actually your Ladybug got a level out of that though.
结果等级经验怎么送给这只啊？可怜，可怜的牺牲 Poplio。OK， 抓到啄木鸟，你看它有3个要组，所以只抓了其中一个，还有2个跟它可以凑对。所以你看前面有讲到，这次是 team up， 是团队的，就是这个游戏这次比较不一样的地方。
ヤングース、ヤングース出ましたね。
Terry, you gonna heal up after this?
Yeah. We'll get healed up.
We'll get healed up.
I think before we get to the festival, because that's
我也
not to
对
give
于
too much away, but there's
这么晚开还很
fighting
不一样。为了跟大家一起看这个 live 现场转播，
several different characters that our viewers maybe aren't familiar with. Would you mind just giving us a quick
有一
introduction
些
to the
角色是以前的，也有一些新的。
はい、そうですね。今リリータウンに到着したんですけども、このキャラクターがハラというキャラクターですね。最初にポケモンをくれるというキャラクターで PV にも登場してます。
So this is Hala. I think it's been revealed already in a video that we've released, but it's a really strong trainer on this island, and he's actually the guy who gives you your first partner Pokemon in your adventure.
すごい強いトレーナーですね。
A very strong trainer on this
非
island.
常强，要跟他学习。这个岛上最强的了。
この子はハウっていうキャラクターですね。
小男孩。
ニャビを今連れてるんですけど、この後お祭りで一緒に戦います。
So this is how, and you're about to battle him actually as part of this festival.
这算是一个祭典，
ポケモン博士。
所以
今回は
其中一部分就是要跟他。
しているという博士ですね。
And that's Professor Kukui right there in the white lab coat. He's a professor who specializes in researching Pokemon moves, like their attacks and such.
I think based on the fan response I've seen, he is quickly becoming the most dreamy professor. I think for the fans.
今までの博士の中でちょっとイケメンっていう評判が。
あとリリエですね。ポケモンのトレーナーではないんですけども、今後も一緒に冒険するキャラクターです。
And that's Lily behind you there. She's the assistant of Professor Kukui, and she's not a Pokemon trainer, but she'll join you on your adventure.
不是训练者，他是教授的助手。包包有点有趣。女生都先看包包。Yes, the bag. I noticed it too. Looks like a big Pokeball in a different shape.
Gotta keep it a secret right now, unfortunately.
動いてたの見ちゃった。
You saw a move.
I think it's time we go into the festival battle.
そろそろ祭りのバトルになりますか。
进入这个祭典的
So I think
战
it's going
斗
to be
了
really。interesting for fans of the series to see this battle and the space. The way that Pokemon and Pokemon battles are integrated into the culture in these islands is really interesting, and you get these amazing battle spaces.
Could
where
we get this
other
game
folks are
in full
gathering around
screen?
and watching you guys
为
fight.
什么不能全荧幕？
人間の社会にもやっぱポケモンとポケモンバトルそのものがこう、
为什么不给全荧幕看呢？
すごい大切なものっていうのがすごく伝わりますね。やっぱこういう、しっかりしたこうバトルアリーナみたいな感じもできてて。
你们在回想今天早上 PS4 的画面吗？
2人の旅立ち
我都尖叫不已。
祝うというかそういう儀式になっています。
可是他们有讲这次任天堂塞尔达传说是很大的王牌耶。
So in this particular festival, actually, this is kind
觉得
of a celebration or a way
宝
to
可
kind
梦也
of
不
kick
错啊
off both you and Hao's adventures to kind of travel across the island. So it's kind
只
of a
是
ritual in this
限
society.
定主机讨厌。
And,
好的，
fortunately,
他
there's
挑战我们，他送出
we can't really talk about this, but just to
Pichu，
mention Tapu Koko.
不是普丘啊。
Worth paying attention to that name.
いろんな
我们上去 Popia 对战 Pichu，等级上我们优势比较高。
And so how about other
等
Pichu?
级7打等级
Looks
6。
adorable.
可愛いですね。
Pichu かわいい。This is like the girly version of Pikachu，
Leave it to me.
任せてください。
比较女生样的皮卡丘的感觉。皮丘，皮丘。
And here we can see
See what he's done for
checking different effects.
そうですね。パラメータがどう変わったかっていうのを今ちょっと確認してるんですね。
敵の相手方も自分が
哦，
両方見
使
えるんで
用电击果然是跟皮卡丘同一个家族。
Status changes as well as the opponent's
使用水枪。
See what's going on in the battle.
So looking at this tropical environment, I'm really hoping that you guys were able to pull off some business trips to some nice
家
tropical
长座
locations
谈
maybe.
会。
I mean, it's for research, it's work. Just have to go.
今回南の国という設定なんですけど、やっぱこう研究目的でこういろん
主
な
眼機
素敵な場所に行けたんじゃないでしょうか。
要死了，要死了，要死了！
そうですね。開発のスタッフ
解決他
こう実際にハワイに行ってですね、いろいろなモチーフを見たり、デザインにも生かされた
哦，
り
使用治愈。
So yeah, we actually took
治疗
as
一
the
下
staff, the
补个
development staff
血
at Game Freak, we took trips to Hawaii to
哦
really do some
对
research.
面的
and we
皮丘使用
definitely,
魅惑。
kind of reflect it in the game.
I should have convinced my boss that I
Oh,
need to do that prep for this.
我们
To
受
really
到
get this
严
segment
重
of-
魅惑攻
Hawaii.
击。
今回のこのセグ
哦
メントの，ため
使
に
用尾
こうハワイに
巴摇一摇，
自然ということで。
我们的防御下降，继续用水枪。All we know is to
Nice.
一匹倒しましたね。
water
So we
gun。
saw with the icons as the battle started. I think Hao has one more Pokemon to go.
ハオは手持ちがあと1匹ですね。
はい。
Popia 升级了，学会新招 ，Disarming
少し
Voice，
技を
Getting
覚えてます
stronger.
ね。
うん
继续使用它。哦，他送出
There we
新
see
的
one of the other new starters.
これも
的
ヤ
喵
ギなんですけども、
咪 Litten。
一回実はもう見ているという設定になってまして、戦うとですね、一回見たことある
属性不一样
ポケモンが
雷被水打
どれが効果が抜群かっていうのが分かるようなインターフェースになっています。
So at this point in the story, you see Hao has Litten, which is another one of the first Pokemon you can choose in your adventure. But you've actually encountered, you've battled against him and his Litten once in the story. And so once you've in
有
Pokemon
吗
Sun and Moon,？once
我
you've
有很
battled
努
the
力
Pokemon
让它
once,
变
the
精
next
彩
time
吗？
battle,
我
you'll
觉得
get
没救了，有吗
a move list about which moves
？Thank you,
are
thanks,
effective.
Blaze. Welcome back, 10
スーパーエ
months.
フェクティブっていうのは効果
感
抜群
谢
っていう
订阅。哒哒哒哒哒哒哒。
So just explaining that, you know, water gun-
对面的 Litten 使用 Ember 火
I think I'll stick with that one.
初心者でも分かりやすい風にしています。
So just
灭
coming back
灭
to
火
make it
灭
all very
火
easy to understand for even beginners at the game.
啊哈哈 She's so weak against water. This is GG. Fire
Especially when
versus
you're trying to
water.
catch more
喵
Pokemon.
抓。
And you're like, okay, I actually maybe don't want to
继
be
续
super
喷
effective
水
right now. I need to kind of
简
whittle
简
this
单
Pokemon
单
down. So being able to remember maybe you want to use your weaker
super
attacks sometimes.
effective，
Just to
非
kind of
常
get
的
to that
有
point.
效。
捕まえたい時とかも
はい
こう効果抜群
属性
じゃない
真的有差
方とかを選びたりもあるので結構役に立ちますねこの情報。
Nice, good job, man.
勝ちました。
I love how
看完了
Pokemon
还要
is
买
not
吗
using too. He's just kind of
玩就跟看不一样喽。
So I don't think we can go too much further in the game.
虽然
because
你
we're
们
gonna
看
start
我
giving
玩
away
游戏
story
就
elements
够
that
了
we。don't want to show folks yet. But you did bring another video for us to take a look at that has a new gameplay mode that I don't think folks have seen before.
この先やっぱ実機プレイを進めるとストーリーのネタバレ的なところもしまうことになるので、ここまでにして、ただもう一つちょっと映像を持ってきていただいて、持ってきているという理解なんですけども、初めて今回初登場の新しい新モードという理解です。
ポケモンはやっぱりコミュニケーションツールとして今までこう対戦とか交換とかっていうのをやってきたんですけども、今回はさらにこう新しい形でのバトルっていうものが登場します。バトルロイヤルっていう。
バトルロイヤル。
So with Pokemon series, obviously, using it as a kind of a communication tool, facilitating communication between players has always been one of the things we've really focused on with the game. So trading and battling between players, of course. This time that's no different. We've got an all-new multiplayer battle mode, which we're calling the Battle Royale.
All right, well, let's see if our crew can load that up for us, and we can check out.
看，出现了。
そうです。
So as we get started here, can you tell us a little bit about what the rules are for Battle Royale and how the matches are decided?
很多大斗的时候就会 BR。
4人のプレイヤーがポケモンを3匹ずつバトルに出して戦うというルールです。今日はちょっと
Thank you for subscribing， 感謝你订阅支持 SD023691， 谢谢你。哒哒哒哒哒。
In this video here, we're just doing one.
上车皮卡丘。黄色的角落，我们上出了一只猫头鹰。司令上出了 Popplio。蓝色的角落，月亮上出了 Litten。喵。四角落就是这样子。开始大乱斗。
倒したポケモンの数と残ったポケモンの数の合計が一番多いプレイヤーが。
Is that like 60 minutes? 1个小时这么长哦。我们还要看1小时。OK， 所以这个数字打败最多就是数字最高的，就是赢家。
It's only a one-on-one situation, so you can look at their Pokemon and say, okay, I've got this Pokemon that's going to be strong against this one, but you're worried about 2 other opponents here, so you really have to think about who's going to fare best against a group.
超级有效果。哎呦，就是遇到这个情景就要让他们鹤霸相争，渔翁得利啊！你看谁跟谁的属性对抗，就让他们去打，就打你的属性适合的。你要去想一下这4只里面谁是最弱的，我们就围殴他，先把他掉。
You really have to kind of determine your strategy
使用叶片攻击，超级有效。哦 ，Popplio 晕倒了。
Interesting how much more intense it feels. Where I'm used to just looking at the trainer in front of me and fighting them, and suddenly it's like, oh, there's 2 more trainers.
哦，结束了，好快哦，不用1小时。
You may have caught that the trainers.
I thought that was going to take an hour.
What we saw with the regular player characters that we showed off so far.
我们简单的、轻松的胜利。
ちょっとそれぞれのプレイヤーやっぱ見た目とかあと服装が違うっていうのはちょっと気になりましたね。
また気づいちゃいましたね。
不是鹤棒哦，不是鹤哦，玉棒。
So we're just about out of time, but before we wrap up, I was curious if you had a chance to see some fan reaction for these games. How's it been seeing how Pokemon fans have reacted for Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon?
まあちょっと時間がかかってしまいましたけれども、今回のポケモンサンが発表されてから、多分ファンからの反響というのはあるんですけれども、その手応えについてお話してもらえますか。
そうですね、
我取名的宝贝
就叫鹤。から9言語に中文を増やしまして。特にその中文使われてる人たちからもたくさん反響をいただいてまして、自分のツイッターとかいただいてるんですけども、やっぱりこうポケモン20周年ということでここからさらにこう広がりを見せるために非常にこうみんな喜んでくれてとても嬉しいなと思って。
So yes, the reaction from everyone has been really great. I get tons of messages and tweets and everything. This being the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, one of the goals really kind of for the future of Pokemon, really kind of expand it to even a wider audience. And as I think you've announced previously,
扩张到更多新的玩家，有7个语言 ，Simplified Chinese。 traditional Chinese， 简体中文，繁体中文，听到了没？
And is there anything final that you'd like to wrap up and say to fans who are watching the stream right now?
刚刚谁说没中文？
そうですね。もう今までにないチャレンジをこのソフトはサンとムーンはしているので、皆さんすごい楽しみに待っててください。
So yeah, I think Sun and Moon, we're doing a lot of new challenges for us here as Game Freak. So I hope everyone really just look forward to the games.
Well, thank you.
自分も完全新作としてのディレクター初めてだったんで、
这次没有马里奥，我在这还马里奥。It's me, Mario.
For me, especially as it's the first time directing an entirely new generation of Pokemon at Game Freak, but I think we've really brought the game together. It's really turned into something fantastic, and I hope fans really look forward to it.
I know I'm definitely looking forward to it. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us some insight into the development work here. Folks watching again, that was Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, which are coming out for the Nintendo 3DS family of systems this November, so you don't have to wait too much longer. And please don't go anywhere. In a few moments, we're actually going to be coming back. Aonuma-san is going to be stopping by to show us some gameplay for a game you might be thinking about, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you.
有点 laggy. Feels kind of laggy. Feels kind of laggy. 停在这个画面，不是我停吧，是他停的。唉，有繁中，所以是超大卖点，对不对？他说这次要让更多新的玩家加入，游戏本身做的比较适合没玩过的也可以尝试。然后语言方面扩充了7种，所以让不同国家的人也可以体验宝可梦的魅力。对，刚刚看到的是精灵宝可梦太阳和月亮。Let me check if the YouTube video is better, just in case. (这边有没有好一点？这边好像顺一点。我们看顺一点的好了。现在是中场、清场时间，因为是现场直播嘛，总是会有一些必须要换一下场地。刚刚的家长座谈会清空了，接下来要请来什么大人物呢？和另外一群人开座谈会，是的。More people, more interviews, yay! More Char translations， 为各位带来更多的翻译。背景是 Legend of Zelda 。Guys, see it. 塞尔达的介绍哦，这次可以听了，可以听了。Probably the only game I'll be streaming on Wii U this year. Is it coming out this year? 那我们等待的时候，看巨大的小林，使用咆哮，使用水枪。我不是没兴趣，是我玩不到啊！你玩不到的东西，你就会看别人玩就好了，对不对？我是觉得可爱归可爱， 但是刚刚有人提到，它是属于比较收集类型的，本身就是叫你 gotta catch them all， 要你把所有的那个宝贝球那些生物怪兽都收集到，所以它这个收集的要素会让我点，你稍微玩一下是可以的那种游戏，感觉要投资太多时间了，很迷人倒是真的，很可爱。而且要一直不断的推出新的角色嘛。我常直播什么类型哦？大家爱看的那一种。我是不是卡住啊？还是他卡住？是他卡住还是我卡住？ Hey, I feel like it just ended. Did it just end or something? 是他卡住还是我卡住？My now. 怎么看起来整个就停住啊？然后是他停住，不是我们的问题。整个中场休息怎么这么的安静啊 ？Why is it so quiet? How could they just like pause their stream like with a moment of silence, a long moment of silence? 这也停止静音太久了吧？这样我很干呢。我刚刚讲到哪里？我玩哪一种类型游戏？我几乎什么都玩，你想象得到的类型我都有直播过。然后大家爱看某一些类型比较多，我自己爱玩的游戏类型我也会直播。我不是很想玩，我绝对不会一个人玩的，我也会因为跟大家一起直播看，就半强迫的玩。我不是一个爱玩恐怖游戏的人，谁爱玩恐怖游戏啊？太变态了。沙滩排球也玩过，对，所以比较 H is for happy 那种 H 的游戏也有玩过，完全不是我个人的意愿。很多游戏不恐怖也会被我玩的恐怖，因为我太投入。有的人说就是不恐怖，我的表情都好像很恐怖。前面诅咒全破了，现在下个月应该会排时间，好好的把最后几个王打完，就是 Dark Souls 3、黑暗灵魂3，还剩倒数4个王左右吧。我想应该快了，这个真的停太久了吧 ？Is Nintendo broken? Like I feel weird about this. So weird. I'm gonna play some music. 我来播放一点音乐，拯救一下他的干等。他怎么了？ Are they gonna just like leave us waiting? 没看过这么长的中场休息发表会啊！ I think they're experiencing technical difficulties probably. 应该是有出现什么样的问题吧？应该不会，照理来说不会停那么久才是啊。我玩的恐怖游戏比你们玩的多，对呀，我还跑过整个鬼月，去年农历7月整个月都玩嘛，那也算是人生的一大挑战级。直播生涯中有这样的记录，夫复何求？这次没讲错了吧？他们午休时间结束了吗？I stayed up for this red screen.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3. I'm Ed, here with Bill and Noriko, as well as a very special guest, Mr. Ayanuma, has joined us here. We're going to talk a little bit about a little game here that I think a lot of people are excited about, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
终于要跟我们讲塞尔达传说了。
Mr. Ayanuma, I think, is there anything, a message you have to the fans?
想要对粉丝说什么？
ゼルダの当たり前を見直すって言って作ってきたこのブレスオブザワイルドいっぱい話したいことあるんですけどもうトレーラーも見ていただいたしファンの皆さんは早くゲーム見たいと思ってると思うんですねなのでもうゲーム始めたいと思うんですけど
So I've created this game thinking about breaking the conventions of Zelda, and I know that a lot of fans have seen the trailer.
要把塞尔达传说过去传统给打破。
Let's do it.
We're going to be showing a lot of The Legend of Zelda today, starting right here. We're going to show you what you can do, and we're going to introduce you to this amazing world. But we're going to try not to spoil anything, so feel free to tune in for as long as you like.
但是又不想要让你的破坏你的游戏体验，所以他先跟你讲有捏他爆雷哦，你要看多久自己决定。Open your eyes， 张开你的双眼。
Open your eyes.
来了来了。
Open your eyes.
不要转圈圈啊！醒醒啊，林克！不要转圈圈啊 ！This Link looks adult, very adult. 感觉是长大的林克哎。以前也是这样的风格吗？好像完全不一样。
This is a very mysterious place, Aonuma-san.
神秘的地方。
そうですね。ゼルダの当たり前を見直すって言いながら、昔いつもと同じような目覚めるシーンから始まってます。目覚める。
I've talked about breaking the conventions of Zelda, but Link does start by waking up.
林克的传统就是要这样醒来。虽然他刚刚有讲要打破传统。过去林克也都是这样醒来。
This really is a mysterious place.
复活的地方，非常神秘。
That is a Sheikah slate.
Sheikah slate.
Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
会指引你
Here
的
we see the
路。
introduction of a very mysterious item.
神秘的なアイテムが出てきましたが。
神秘的物品拿
到。
Oh, it's an iPhone.
今回この何か新しいテクノロジーのような感じです。
Or a Wii U controller.
We use swords and magic, but this time around we introduced technology.
这次有科技。过去的塞尔达传说都是魔法而已，这次加入了新科技。Ooh, we have a mini map on the lower right. 右下角有小地图，所以它算是一个 GPS 系统。取得老旧的 T 恤，有衣服穿了。
These are clothing items that he can wear.
リンク今まで裸同然でしたから。
可以拿到东西改变它的外观呢。哦，大裤子哎。
Oh, Bill, you can actually play this nude too if you want.
Not quite my style.
所以你也可以赤裸裸的玩这个游戏。
That would also make you very vulnerable to enemies, just so you know.
OK， 你要拿你的这个 Sheikah 这块石块。 放在那边嘛，它就会指引
So
你。
we see here one of the functionalities of the
其
Sheikah
中一
slate
个
is
功能
activating
就是可
this
以
pedestal
开启
and opening this door here.
启动的作用。门开了，门开了。
So it starts.
我喜欢这个美术风格。
You are the light.
林克，你是那个光，我们的光，一定要在 Hyrule 这个国度再次发光。去吧，宝贝球。
画面にジャンプっていう風に書かれてます。今回ね、初めてボタンでジャンプするようになりました。
So as you can see on the screen, it says jump. Now Link
可以
can
这样
jump for
子
the first time.
跳。以前的林克不会跳哦。以前的林克不会跳。第一次学会跳跃，使用按钮按下去就会跳。
Now we see the subtitle on screen. Perhaps this would be a good time for Aonuma-san to talk about that.
啊，看看美丽的世界。跟大家好好的跟我们说明一下。
今までアイテム名とかキャラクター名がサブタイトルにつくことが多かったんですけど、今回はね、この世界の名前です。
So in the previous titles, we used character names and item names as subtitles, but this time around we wanted to
东西都有名字。
We wanted to showcase the
这
world.
次想要介绍的是
And I
世
think
界。
especially from that sweeping panoramic shot right there, we see how much of a character the world is, how much of a presence the world is in this. And I know hearing some of the iterations of possibilities for the subtitle, and you know, I remember the moment when I first heard Breath of the Wild, and it was just like, oh, that's it, that's the
这
right
个
one.
风格我
It
可以
just
接
felt
受，
so right
解
with
析度不重
the
要。
in tune with the nature
Highly
and the sort of expansiveness of
取
this
得
world.
このゲームの背景を見たり、
奇
その
怪的
自然の要素っていうのを見ていると、初めてそのサブタイトルを
哦，可以看攀岩、
これがもうぴったり合うっていうふうに感じました。
はい、こうやってね、どんどんね、壁とか山とか登っていけるんです、ね。
壁と
So
か
Link can
山、
climb the mountain or the wall,
石頭、
just like you said,
墙
you
壁、
saw here.
山
横に
都可以爬。
緑色のゲージがありますけど、頑張りゲージって言って、あれが続き鍵に登ってい
这
ける。
个绿色的
So
这
that
个
is the
条，
green, you see the
就
green
是
gauge on the left.
你可以
That's the
持续
stamina gauge, and you can kind of see how
你的
much you can
精
climb.
力可以持续多久爬。
で、世界に転がっていろんなものね、どんどん
世界会有好多好
And then
多
there's a
东
lot of items
西，
scattered all around the world, and you
可
can
以
take
去
those,
寻
you
找
can pick
捡
those
起
up.
来。
任天堂といえば。
And then, as Nintendo, we of course have to have.
想象一下，如果你有收集癖怎
We
么办？
love our mushrooms.
このキノコは大きくなったりし
捡
ます
不完了。
This mushroom is not going to make Link any bigger.
Good to know.
OK，推石头也可以办到。
で、大きな岩とかもね、押したり、いろいろしてこうやってその世界にあるいろんなものにこうリンクはこういろいろアクションできるんですね。
有好多东西可以互动。
Big rocks down the hill. He can use all these little items and elements and
找到苹
incorporate it
果
into gameplay.
OK，所以他捡到这些东西都可以再利用。
Bill doing some gathering, a lot of climbing here.
哦，
And
有
already
深
there's
层
this
的感
sense
觉，
of,
这
you're
是
just thrown into this world of exploration right off
收
the
集
bat.
东
探
西。
検をする
Head
って
for the
いうの
point
が
探
marked on
险
a map in your Sheikah slate.
他有告诉你现在要去
somebody's calling you
你的
though.
GPS 上面的点点的地方。
So here we get our first look at the map. This circular area here being the extent
世界
of the
太大了，
E3
一定
demo
要
that
有
we're
一个
showing.
小
This
地
is a
图。
high plateau in the center of Hyrule. We'll give you just a sneak peek of how big that is, but I think you'll get to see a better look at
目
the
前
scale
还
of
不
the
知道有没有
world
中文哎，
later
他还
on
在介
today.
绍。
ハイラルの真ん中に位置している
Follow the
E3
Sheikah
バージョン
Slate
で見れる
肯定是有日文跟英文。
マップをふわふわ後でまた別の機会にお見せします。
Baked apple。
Oh, I got a baked apple.
哦，你在苹果放上去就烤成
Scolded you.
烤苹果。
Oh. Now, who is this
啊，他
gentleman,
们没
Mr.
声
Aonuma?
音
Would you like
哦
to。share with people?
この
这个老人呢，问他是谁，他 他不跟我们讲，他说他只是一个怪老头，住在这里好一阵子，自己一个。他问年轻人为什么在这？所以我们也用问题回答他的问题。OK， 蓝色的字。这是诞生之地 ，Hyrule 国度的诞生之地，这里。他说那一个寺庙已经被遗弃很久。
Yes, he says the kingdom is in a state of decay.
国度好像慢慢的毁灭中。
So I picked up a tree branch earlier. Currently, it's all I have for a weapon. But you can see very quickly the things that I can do with a tree branch.
哦，可以拿火把来玩烧东西。Is it going to be like Far Cry Primal？ 哎，会真的会烧光哎，留下干的树叶了。
We've just seen a window of both play styles.
So you can imagine dangerous things happening with the fire. 玩火很危险。
And so I can also swap my weapons out. So I'll switch over to the axe.
可以切换武器，拿这个砍树。
Chop down trees if I want to get to some apples.
捡更多苹果。
Use all the resources,
right?
还可以哦。
Chop the
哇！
to
一
get
砍
firewood,
就变一
which I
堆
can
柴
later， use to set
太神
campfire.
了。
So it's very nice, neatly bundled up already for you.
太方便了。Good night,
Honestly,
shade.
first time I got my
蓝
hands
色
on
的
it, I spent
花
the。first 20 minutes like chopping down trees and climbing trees. That's all I did.
このゲームをプレイして初
这
めて
太多事情可以做了吧？
木を切り倒したり、木登ったり。
克洛克啊，你看得见我，我是快乐的克洛克。我可以给你什么东西吗？克洛克的种子。我有朋友到处躲起来。OK， 这些小生物会躲在这个世界中，等你去发现。
Oh, that looks like I've already come across the master sword.
现在很多这样子开放世界、这样让你探险的游戏，可以让你玩很久。所以，选择这一种类型也是可以理解。Rusty Broadsword 不怎么好的一把烂剑，有一点生锈。
There's no way I'm gonna play something that important here.
That would be the ultimate in breaking
但
with
是
the
它
Zelda
是一
convention.
把剑。
これはなんかゼルダの当たり前を見直すっていうのの一番。
Now I do need
塞尔达
a
一直都
shield,
是
so
高
I
自
think
由
I'm
度
gonna
吗？
run up this way.
哦，
As you
旧
can
的
see,
塞尔达
the
也是
world
这样
is
吗？
open to me. I can go any direction that I want. But I'm going to run up here through the grass.
在当年，
I've had a sword, so perhaps I should cut some grass.
草を切って。
But nothing's coming out.
でも何も
可以砍
出てきません。
草，但是没什么反应。
So I guess you want to know how Link can get life.
哦，我们看看林克怎么夺取生命，可以杀掉一些生物。
Bill was dumped onto a goblin camp here.
哇，连坏蛋都那么可爱哦，怎么舍得啊
Oh,
？Still kill
Gonna
them.
dispatch them with some extreme prejudice.
You
and
ambush
everything.
them. 哦，果然剑坏掉了。
it's not much of a shield, but I've got a pot lid.
哦，我取得了一个盾牌。
Uh-oh. Oh, he's taunting me.
哦哦
Oh
哦
no, I'm going to need some health here in a bit.
哦，他一直对我们吐舌头。
No.
哦，我们的剑完全毁灭，拿到新的帽。
Oh, I stole his spear.
哦，是直接偷拿他的耶。
So for this title, the weapons that Link have actually will break.
有一些物品真的是会坏掉的，使用就会坏的。
奪いましたけど、こうやってねどんどん強い敵倒して強い武器を手に入れる。
你要一直不断的去打更强的怪物，取得更强的武器。
Go into a battle with enemies and then you take their weapons, and then so you can use them as your own.
就是目的就是要去拿他们的武器。
見るハートなくなっちゃったじゃない。回復しなきゃ。
Temple of Time。
ハートをどうやったら回復できるかというと、そのキノコを取ってましたけど、その下にハートのマーク見えますよね。
哦，左上角我们的爱心就是我们的生命力吗？OK， 吃东西补
草を切ってハートで回復するんじゃなくて、物を食べて回復します。
This time around, you're not going to find any hearts in the grass, but you're going to be eating these.
过去的塞尔达是在草丛中找到爱心补血，现在是就是靠这些食物。
Really having to take advantage of the resources in the world with also with grabbing the weapons.
有一点麦块的感觉吗？
You're finding them in certain places and then using the food as this resource to keep your health up is also really interesting. It's a lot of fun.
生存版的塞尔达。哦，毛也断了。取得的是他的棒子。
現地でとにかくいろんなものを調達しなきゃいけないっていう。
So it's almost like a survival game where you have to
survival, like I said earlier. 你要收集这些东西生存，会一直不断的坏掉，又要使用新的，吃完又要收集。哦，慢动作。哦。
Executing the flurry rush.
Flurry Rush。
あれは今敵の攻撃に対して
比他快好多倍。
ジャンプで避けたんですよね。そうするとスローモーションになって敵にヒットを与えやすい。
跳跃的时候。
So when you get a perfect timing，
如果在正确的时间内，敌人就会变慢。
Looks like I got a new pair of trousers,
可以
which I've been
更
needing
容
to
易
pick
攻
up.
击。
So
它呢是需要正确时间点 timing 的。
Okay. You can see that there's quite a lot to look around at and discover in the world. I'm gonna run past
有
those
很多
barrels
很
there.
多可以去发掘的。
そうですね。
感觉很好玩。
Aonuma-san, we don't have a good idea of what's going on in Hyrule here, but everything seems to be in ruin. And
感觉好像都变成遗迹了。Hyrule 这个地方，这个原本的国度。
So you saw these guys in the trailer, they're guardians.
っていう敵なんですけど、今動かなくなっちゃってますねもう。
哦，这些机器原本是守护者吗？ They look like Hayao Miyazaki, the robots to me. 很像《天空之城》宫崎骏的作品的那个机器人。
So I know a lot of people are going to be really excited about how you're dropped into this world, and there's minimal backstory. There's not a lot up front in this game other than here you are. What are you going to do? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
所以完全是很多自由性。
There's so many hints in this environment about
可以决定你要做什么，你要去哪里。
I think people will be really interested to see the story sort of unfold as they play the game.
可以慢慢玩，你也可以追寻这个故事。
ユーザーさんの方でまだ詳しくわかりませんけども、こうやってゲームを進めていくうちにいろいろとヒントが見つかって、あ、こんなんなんじゃないか、あんなんなんじゃないかっていうふうに考え
很多东西都可以互动，
ユーザーさん楽しまれるんじゃないでしょうか。
そうですね。やっぱりそういうことが自然とこう分かってくるっていうのが面白いじゃないですか。ゲームって端的にこういろいろ伝えたくなっちゃうんですけど、今回はねそういうところがもうじわじわと
哦，拿到弓箭，酷。
楽しみにしてほしいと思いますね。
So I think with this title, you'll be able to learn these backstories, like you said, Ed. That you'll be able to learn them little by little on your own pace. It's not that the game is telling you, but you can kind of explore and find out on your own.
This might also be a good time to talk a little bit about the art style and just the nature of the game itself. If you look at Link and the world, it's clearly deeply inspired by Japanese animation.
Japanese animation, 日本动画的风格。
随分と影響を受けているんじゃないかっていうふうなことが感じられます。
I like it.
そうですね。ゼルダで言うとね、風のタクトの時にトゥーンっていう表現を使ってそのアニメーションの表現を取り入れてみたんですけれども、それはねそういう世界が広くその自然の中にものがあるんですけど、それをはっきり分からせるためには描き込むよりももっと簡素なマイナスしていくね、削っていってはっきりそれを分からせるこういうアニメーションの技法の方がゲームには向いてると思うんですね。
So we've used this tune like style before.
这个 style 就是要让强调这个。
For the players to see an item, to find an item.
对，要让你注意到这些游戏中的物品。
Where you create something and then you shave off the elements. So
这种画风会比较。
Users will be able to identify the items easier rather than adding on elements so to the background.
なのでそのアニメーションっていうその技法を使って
所以是用减法，不是用加法。他刚刚有讲。
それをねゲームの機能に合わせてそれを選んだってことなんですね。
So the theme here is not that we wanted to create an animation style game.
我们并没有想要做一个像动画一样的游戏，而是这个画风会让游戏更顺畅。试玩时间到了。哦，试玩时间到，换下一位。这是他的失误，他没有把那个关掉。
ゲームの本当の自然な形に今沿っているので、こんなこともある。
そうですね。今日体験してもらえるものを生で皆さんに感じてもらったってことですよね。
So yeah, this is something that the users will experience tonight on the show floor. So.
And I think people saw, that actually gives people at home a sense of how much time people are going to have here. And as Reggie said, nobody's going to be able to explore even just this small area that we're showing here at E3. And that speaks to just how large this experience is going to be. And I think people are going to be really excited to just get that little taste of it.
这些人在现场试玩，可能也没办法探索所有的。他们就是这个地图。
ゲーム内の一部しかプレイできないので、今のこの切れてしまいましたけれども、それでどれぐらいの本当短い時間にどれぐらいちょっとしか見れないかっていうのが、ビューアーの皆さんにも分かったんで、視聴者の皆さんにも分かったんじゃないかと。
そうですね。
But in going back and talking about the art style, the colors are very reminiscent of a type of paint called gouache.
Gouache.
And gouache was actually it's a material that is used frequently in animation. But it's also a material that's used in a style of painting that is called en plein air, or in English, open air painting, where you go out into the environment and you sit down in front of the object that you intend to paint, and you paint it in that real world setting. And then, as we started looking at the art style and its similarities to gouache and that connection, we also started to feel that the music in the game also has a very open air feeling to it. Isn't that correct, Aonuma-san?
このアートスタイルも随分そうやってグワッシュとか使っているような感じのスタイルですけれども、音楽自体もとてもなんかオープンエアっていうテーマにぴったりな気がするんですけども、そこら辺のご説明っていうのをお願いできますか。
どこに行って何をするのも自由な
open air， 就好像坐在你要画的东西前面去画它，那种写实风。
So because the players will be able to explore and
因为玩家可
anything
以
that they want
探索
to, we
做很
couldn't
多
use
很
the
多事情。
conventional types of music where we know that where the users would go and we can kind of get the music
音乐没有办法像过往那样子，好像从一个地方到一个地方的音乐切换。所以这次呢，就使用不同的方式。游戏的背景音乐。
融合させるような BGM の使い方をしてるんです。
So as you can hear, there's a lot of environmental sounds that you hear throughout the game, and then we try to blend that music, that sound into the game as much as we can.
Okay. 所以是比较跟大自然融合的感觉。
And then you can hear a little piano
听到一
sound
些钢琴声。
throughout the game, I think.
ピアノのね音っていうのは自然の音にすごくマッチするんですね。
And then the sound of piano actually matches this nature element
It's
very well.
1:20 a.m. here.
こう働きかけるような響きを。
And then the sounds of piano actually kind of strikes a chord in people's
I like
emotions
how
too, so I
that
think it
it
works
sounds
really
like
well.
when you pick up something. 慢慢是它捡起来的东西的那个配乐，
何かをしようとしてる時にたまたま
发现什么的声音还蛮
出会うと
疗愈感。
ぐっと気持ちが盛り上がる。
So when you're playing the game and
当
when
你
you
在
goes
玩这游
through
戏呢
something，and then if that piano sound happens to come on，
如果有那
it
钢
kind of
琴声呢，
makes you feel so emotional
会
just
让
hearing
你
that
有一
perfect
些
match of the
情
movement and the
绪、
music.
情感上的，跟以前一样吗？那个配音。
100人の人が違う体験をする。
Choo Choo Jelly 怎么翻译？Choo Choo
So
果
the
冻。
music is our intention was to, because this game it has 100 ways of playing it. If there
因为
was
这游
100
戏有
players playing
好
it,
几百
so
种
we
方
kind
式
of
玩，
wanted to make that that very unique experience for
所
every
以
player.
要让每个玩家
I know
都有
longtime
自己的
fans
体
of the
验。
series, that's going to be one of the first things they notice. You know, there's not the constant theme music.
And the
always-
game
always
is great,
present
but the
everywhere
talk
you go.
isn't.
And this new take on the on the oral experience is really refreshing. It's true to the game, and it does resonate.
It
It
is
feels
this
really
the kind
good
of
to
game
play.
where you could play slowly and immerse into it, healing and all that. But
BGM に関してはすごくみんな気づくと思うんですけれども、
for a
違いに
quick
でも
show,
やっぱり青沼さんがおっしゃったように本当に心
they
にグ
need
ッと
to
くる
show
よ
us
う
the
な
better
音楽
part,
なので
like
す
the
ごく
more
プレイスタイ
intense
ルになっ
part.
ていると思います。
よかったです。
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that, Ed.
Bill continuing
There we
his
go.
campaign of brutality.
裸ですね。
Yes, I forgot to.
Bill Link.
Sorry, I forgot to put my pants on.
You kind of rushed
Just like
yourself.
any other day.
他没
So we
穿
do have, one of
刚刚的
the things that
裤
we're
子。
not showing in this morning segment that's going to be coming up in just a little bit is puzzle solving. You'll be
Oh,
seeing some of that
there's
today. You'll
puzzle
be
solving?
seeing quite a bit of
有一些
exploration
解
and the
谜。
ways to use the objects that you've discovered. But one of the things, there's a lot of
这是
different
炸
ways
药。
that you can kind of experiment with the environment and the world here
有
in
很
Breath
多
of the
可以
Wild.
跟这世
So
界
I'm just
互
going to
动
have a little bit of
的
fun
方式。
with a little project I want to try out here.
後々
现在
午後
展
のセ
示给我们
グメントで
看一下
は謎解きだったり
可以
いろ
做什么
いろな他のマップの他のエリアの探
碰
求
碰碰碰
なんかもします
吗
けども
？combo？
ちょっと今回はビルがやりたかったビルのプロジェクトにちょっと今集中して
集中してて何をしてんのこれ。
Oh.
Okay, well,
I like that you call this setup a project, Bill.
It is a project.
let's see. Do
ほぼ
I,
何がしたいかわかりません。
他到底想干嘛？
I don't know what you're trying to
哦，
let's see if it's close enough.
他要
Nope. Oh.
做什么？
Get another club?
Let's see.
丢出棒子
Oh, no, not quite.
没碰到那个，
あ、なんとなくわかった。
他是想要
idea here.
哦自爆。
Oh,
Hey, you live.
I did. I
Nice.
survived.
死なずに
Well done.
Now,
でもかなりやばい状態なん
that
です。
was
But look at your
yeah,
heart, Bill.
that was quite dangerous.
Thank you for joining us for Bill's
I actually,
project.
we have a little, we have a little bit of news. I think everybody has been excited for some
No
special Zelda
comment.
items coming to Miitomo.
なんかミートモに新しいゼルダのアイテムが登場するという
Trying
こと
to show
で
you there are
We've
a
just
lot
been
of things
told
you
that
can
those items will
do.
be
Hurt
going
yourself
live at
too.
3 p.m. Pacific
对
time.
游戏
So
之中你
be
也
sure
可以
to
伤
check
害
into
自己，
Miitomo
感觉
today
是一
to get
个
your free Zelda themed items there.
自由度
We
蛮高
have
的
a lot more
塞尔
Zelda
达。
coming up
A lot more
today.
Zelda.
As we've talked about, we're really focusing on introducing you to the world, the things you can do in the world, how you're going to be surviving. It's really all about the actions and the activities.
你的动作
You won't be
做
seeing so much
从
in
事做的
terms of
这些
characters and
事
story.
情。
So if you're the type of
Oh.
person who doesn't want to be spoiled, feel free to tune in all day.
Yeah.
那么现场示范是看不太到太多故事，所以不会有太多捏他堡垒。所以说，其实真正游戏进行，你如果不喜欢探索部分，你也可以只是遵循着你的那个 GPS 告诉你现在去哪里，照着故事玩这样。自己可以决定要多少探索的元素。There's more 他说叫你不要走，还有更多塞尔达传说。嘟嘟嘟。还有哦 ，I'm falling asleep.